with all the persons. Pleasure to welcome Chamberlain Uzo. Chamberlain is station manager, Channels Television, Abuja. Good to see you, Chamberlain.
Thank you.
And of course, sitting next to Chamberlain is Ayo Osumba. Ayo is Bureau Chief, Abuja Bureau Chief, TVC News. Ayo,
Thank you.
of course, sitting next to Ayo is Chijoke Okafo. Chijoke is APPN. Chijoke,
Good to see you too. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Minister, I can see that you are in a very sober mood. You know the reasons. You know that you received the body of your very good friend, late Senator Barinaga this morning at the retirement. It must be a trying moment for you. On behalf of all of us, we pass our condolence. Then how do you feel this family? Just a couple of days before the news of the death, we saw the two of you that video, I think it was during the thank you visit to local government and it's not exactly like the full part of again, alright, Saturday, February 21 was a historic day for you. That was when the area council elections in Abuja took place. And at the end of the day, the party that you work for almost made a mistake. 5 area council chairman out of 6 and more than 2/3 of the councillorship positions. But then, how do you feel being a member of the PDP and working actively for the success of a party that that you're opposed to?
You asked me sometimes, and I told you 2023, I did say, even as a PDP member, I was going to work for day. So I because I believe and rightly so that they don't have been there for 8 years, that the substitute did not have a stake for it, and that the candidates that other parties have presented, for me, appear not to be serious candidates are not likely to win the elections. And once of it, my own party tried to disobey their own constitution, and we can with impunity decided that they would do whatever they want to do. I came out and I said I was not going to take that, and I was going to support the Southern candidates, and I pitched my tent where the president today is. So the issue of how do I feel, and I also have said severally that as it is today, my party appears not to have learned, and that I was also going to say support Mr. President for second time in office. And I did not also miss well to say, as a minister, that my party never consulted me of the candidates they are going to present. Only candidates who told me they were running the election and who are also candidates that were supporting the president. Those candidates I will support. It's unfortunate they may be the same party, but I never said I was going to support social party, but I said I was going to support candidates who I support on Mr. President for his re-election. It doesn't matter which party the candidates may belong to, but if they are supporting Mr. President, then of course I'm going to pitch my tent. So the issue of how do I feel being another party, I want you for another party does not arise. So that's why I have to go back to history, so you know where we are. And remember one of our interviews here, I said, because of the crisis of PDP, it will be very difficult for candidates. I mean, it's like taking too much risk. Who do I know who actually will be the National Bank chairman, who has the right to communicate to the Independent Electoral Commission as required by the to ANEC. That will be very vigorous. And again, have prepared as a party that will represent you, sponsoring you for that position is another team all together. So if you see walking for another party, I don't think so. But walking for Mr. President, yes. And I owe apologies to anybody.
The elections generated a lot of attention even before the election day, because a lot of people saw it as a prelude to what will be happening in less than 8 months or so from now. And I mean, apart from that, your own person too also added to that attention. You were accused of declaring a curfew, all in an attempt to ensure that things go in a particular way that made it impossible for people to come out to vote. That got some people angry and they didn't bother to come out to vote and all of that.
But you see, and I have to say this clearly, election is a process. The process that starts from nomination of candidates, the process that goes to campaign before you get to election. So election is not just that particular date of voting, and that is the mistake people make. You are going to school. You know, exam will come. An exam will be, say, in 2-3 months' time. Nobody waits for exam to come before you know that you prepare for the exam. So it's a process. You must attend classes. You must read to be prepared for the exam. And that is why you see students who are not prepared for exams. When they see an opportunity of students who will study for that to be a strike, they call for strike. They rather not to write the exam. This election you are talking about didn't just come on the 21st of February. The process has been there. Remember, and that what I've always told people, some parties have said that the election of 21st February will determine the election of 2027. Remember, the senator that represents FCT has said that they will use local government election to teach me a lesson that FCT is not River State. I'm coming to that already. It's not River State. Therefore, I question before I go back. That I declare coffee. You see, that's why we have to be careful. I had one the senator say so. I know she doesn't read. She reads love magazines, all those things. If we had my speech, I'll say, by the approval of Mr. President, by the approval of Mr. President, who has said for people to go back to their area towns where they come from, that he has given a work-free day so that you don't go back late as against Saturday. By the approval of Mr. President, I never, but assuming do not concede it, as a minister who represents Mr. President, the security report I have, they do not have it.
Was that why you were?
Excuse me, let me answer the questions. Allow the public to get the whole thing before you ask another question. Because we are here for the public to get everything that happened. That's why we are here. With all due respect, sir. I mean, you have your time, but let the public know what happened. I never declared curfew. I never declared public holiday. And I said, by the approval of Mr. President, he had resisted movement from 8 p.m. From 8 p.m. In essence, you have a free working day. So from 8 p.m., you don't need to go. We have intelligence reports. We didn't want any situation to show violence in the election. And this is not the first time. All over the states where government have come to say, look, the administration of movement for so time to so time. People have said, oh, people didn't come out to vote. Whose duty it is to mobilize people? You are the one contesting the election. You are the party that sponsored you to run the election. Is it the duty of INEC to mobilize you to come and vote? It is the responsibility of political parties. It's the responsibility of candidates in that election to mobilize people. Look at where Senator voted. Her own polling unit. Where we thought, you know, the people, you can mobilize them. ADC had 2 votes. APC had 3 votes. PDP had 1 vote. it. What is all these people shouting every time that, oh, people didn't come out because whose duty? Now, you are the one telling people that look, this government is not doing well. The only option you have is to mobilize people to come and vote against the government. You have told people that are not doing well, or the government is not doing well. Now, let us tell ourselves the simple truth. Who would have beaten a socialist government in this election? How did they win? Simple. When the president came in power, he appointed us. He called me. What difference can we make that all over the years, ruling parties have never won? And what's the secret? We're only interested in concentrating within the city. Those that live in the city, from experience, from records, don't come out to vote. They are all good men, but they only can talk. They only can criticize. But to come out and vote is the problem. And the president said, listen, we must go to the satellite towns and let them feel the impact of governance. Let them feel the impact of government. And we went to satellite towns and go and see how happy the people are. When people talk about people didn't come out, why did they not come out? Other than within the city. But when they go to satellite towns, go to Karo, go to Kabusa, go to Cherity, go to Wasa, go to all those areas, people came out to vote. And you remember, the candidate of NDC had said, no, this is not on their board. You see, we always give, you know, I have not had any media chat for long. I said I will not have any until this election is concluded. Let us really know. Because it is easy to come out on national television to talk. It is easy to say this and to say that. Now the reality is done on them. Now, you talk about the party, my party. That's why am I happy that we lost election. I have told you this. If you don't read, you can't pass the exam, no matter how you call God. Show me where they campaign.
sir. It's only INEC that can move around on
No,
election.
you are wrong. You are wrong. Read their law. Please. Read their law.
Would you like to
I'm coming. As a candidate, I cannot move around. I must have my agents. As the chief security officer, I have a right to have a view of what's going on. I have a right. And how does it affect? How does it influence
a lot of Nigerians
the election? No. I have told you. No, that I don't have. I don't know when you would do the referendum of a lot of Nigerians. That's what we have always done. When 20 people go to National Assembly, you say, this is what Nigerians want. When did Nigeria conduct a referendum? When did you conduct a referendum to say that Nigerians are not happy? Like I, as a minister, I want to tell police units to check what was going on. As I get 3,000 police that have influenced the election.
That's because no previous minister did that.
What is my business? What is my business? You have said here, why not use it? That's why I don't agree with your station. Listen to me. I said the only opposition that the mere fact that the party is registered does not simply say you're opposition. No, it does not. What is an opposition? Okay, let me tell you how you rate parties. There are 62 wards. 62 wards. APC has 45. PDP has 17. Don't tell me this story. As a senator, in my own ward, I can't produce a councillor, and you're telling me that somebody rigged you as a party, serious party, national party. You cannot win a ward, and you are coming to the national television to talk about it. It's so shameful.
Minister, during the campaigns leading to the council polls, we saw something similar to the Rainbow Coalition in River State happening here within the Federal Capital Territory, particularly in Amak. And there are permutations that there could be some sort of influence by you for that event to have taken place the way it did. Were you directly or indirectly involved in that?
Now you get this clear. I'm a politician. I'm not a pastor. Right? If I wanted to be a pastor, I know where I would have gone to. I'm not a journalist. If I want to be a journalist, I know where to go to. I choose to be a politician.
and you play politics?
I am coming. Listen to me. Like you learn from me. I don't know anything about journalism. So don't play to my own field. Now, you are talking about influence. So you know, the chairman last election that was held, the party normally shares. Look, this governor, go and take care of this area council. I was doing area council. I was the one that made the guy to win.
Why?
No, it wasn't my party. No, that's the one in PDP. I said, listen to what I said. PDP shared positions. And the guy now left. I said, why are you leaving? He said, no, sir, I can't take risk. I don't know who will sign my form. I have an opportunity that they have offered me to run it as a friend. I do know by a performance you are likely to win. You are likely to win. You know, the thing that worries us here or what you are afraid of is if I'm running an election today and I know I'm not going to win, that's not too wrong in me throwing the towel. It's not to begin to make noise. It is not true. The PDP, as about the one who had this thing, one who had good leadership, not this type of bad leadership today. Ask him, did you confess between you, I assign this, you are assigned this, and it used to happen. It used to happen. It's no longer there. There's no coordination. And what result are you likely to have? And the same thing, and let ADC tell themselves the simple truth. For me, if I were them, the truth of the matter is, look, we came late. Tell people the truth. We are not going to participate in this election. We are not prepared. If somebody who is not prepared for the exam, why not say, look,
Minister, don't you think that would be disenfranchised?
can I finish? Can I finish? Let me finish. That's the problem I have with you. When you ask me one question, let me finish with that so the public can benefit from it. What is disenfranchisement? If as a party, I say, look, we are not prepared for this election, does that not give you the opportunity to vote for another person? What is disenfranchisement? Is anybody refusing you to vote? Disenfranchisement comes when you are not allowed to vote or someone refuses to vote. But no when a party comes to say, listen, we are not prepared for this. Let us not down to the gallery. Let us not begin to tell people lies. We are not prepared. We are not prepared. Let us prepare and focus. If I was the River State now, you would have said, oh, he rigged the River selection. I was not there. I was not there. It will be difficult for anybody today come out on television to abuse anybody. No. No. It's not correct. Again, people couldn't participate in that election before the judgment of Federal High Court came out, directing INEC to recognize the Caretaker Committee. The process was over, and so the bill would have contested. And if you are running an election, which other party will you run? ADC, the Labour Party.
Political parties because they are registered and they have vehicles that could be used.
Please. See, that's why we always cross confusion. Something you know that will not work. If you like, do it. Okay, let me tell you. If ADC, if I read them, go and challenge it in the tribunal. Challenge it in the tribunal. It's clear. Let them cancel the election. Let them do another, repeat the elections. It will not be anything different. There's no way. Come, what are you going to tell the satellite towns that what they're going to do for them? Look, he said, one will come. Because I want to tell one will come. The people who are here now, that you don't want to want, and you're telling us when you come. Let their coming not be Christ coming.
That's the same thing APC said when it was in the opposition, and it eventually came in 2015.
No.
What makes you think that the ADC cannot come in 2027 or 2031?
No, hold on. Remember, APC was opposition, but the real opposition party to PDP. And they have structures. They have governors. So it was possible to make an impact. Unlike this, anybody who quarrels with Tinubu will go to another party. Anybody who doesn't like Tinubu will go to another party. Look, it's very clear. I was listening to one spokesperson of APC. What's his name? What is his first name?
Felix Moka.
No, I mean,
Bolaji Abdullahi.
okay, I hardly remember this guy's name.
My colleague, actually.
No, I hardly remember.
How can you forget your former colleague?
What's wrong? I must not get 100% in every exam. I hardly remember. Now let me tell you. Ask what made them to leave PDP to APC. What made them to leave APC to PDP? They ran an election for Senate. What made them to leave PDP to form you see, everybody wants an enclave. That maybe I'm in charge. And then you don't tell the people the truth. You tell them, I was hearing him say, when he goes home, you see his people. Which people? Which people? When I I tell people this kind of thing. Look, I'm sorry to say this. One of the things that made me go out to say thank you visit. I just wanted to see, to know, where are we?
Let's do the water.
Where are we? And all of you, you are shocked. I have said it more than 1 year ago. Senator D, you will come back as a senator.
Are you still standing on that? Are you going to
No, let me do what I say now. I have told you here. Look, you see, that's why people don't like those who tell you the truth. It's bitter. Let me tell you why. I will go to the satellite towns, communities. Do you know her? Do you know her? Richard, you know the abuse WIKE. I want you to be my friend if you do by force. Oh, I want you to collaborate to what? What are you collaborating?
She's a senator of the federal
Oh,
you are a minister of the federal
hold on.
and it's one federal government
Can I, you know, we are part of the problems we have. Nobody says you're not a senator. Nobody says I'm not the minister. If I'm a minister well. If I'm a senator, make sure that you do well. Okay.
To work together.
yes
Good to, so things are not moving.
on behalf of the
She
Nigerian
said she called you. Yelled at her.
I don't, do you know that?
used to pick her
I don't even know how to look
Called
back.
severally.
Can I tell you? I'm not the man who pretends. I don't pretend. And I know what I pretend. And I've told you, mark it today. Today's was second of what? March. Look, you know, my report card will show. Your report card should also show. Opposition show your report card. What did you do as a senator when you were? You see, we shouldn't be taking that for granted.
and she's saying that you used your friend Senator Akpabio, the president of the Senate, to deprive her of some constituency projects to be funded.
If we get just too powerful, let us succumb to WIKE. Everything, you don't sleep well is WIKE. You don't, if you are sick is WIKE.
The president.
One thing you be consistent about, and you said it different platforms,
Yes.
is that you are a supporter of the president,
Yes.
but you also insisted that you remain a member of the PDP and are respective for
Yes.
that. If Mr. President wins his 2027 election, then that means he's going to stay till 2031.
Yes.
Looking at the People's Democratic Party, your party, which you never denied, if it's time to go to court, you are the first to go to court. Looking at from how many governors in 2023 to about how many of them now?
From
13 to 3
now.
we don't even know those 3, we don't even know the association with them. Are you worried, being a supporter of the president, that it might be difficult to review this same party? You said is a strong opposition.
Let me just tell the truth. Am I worried that my house is crumbling or crumble? Yes.
You don't look worried.
Yes.
Until you see me and my shape dead. Until you see me and my shape. Listen. Can I listen? It's not. I don't.
Your friend, I'm not to feel 3 who has not left.
Listen.
Your biggest political opponent,
Why not listen? I don't look worried. Why should I be worried? Look, my real worry does not mean that I will look like a hungry man. No, I don't need to do that.
But is this not exhausting?
No, listen. No, let me just listen. I've told you here that am I worried my party is not doing well? Yes, I'm worried. Do I believe my party to rise again? Yes, to rise again.
in 2030.
Listen. Excuse me, the man father don't believe in yourself. The man should don't believe in yourself. The man fight. You don't believe in yourself. What it requires is you putting yourself to work together to say, look, where have we made mistakes? Can some mistake be corrected? Yes. Who told you there were no problems here too? What were you, man? What were you? You see, this idea you think that you must have 15 governors before you win general election. It's not correct. And let me also tell you, go and mark it today. I've told you here, my support is for President Tinubu. I've never he did it. That does not mean that Tinubu will not win some sort of national election. My election is local. I've told you here. You saw the one in Baurada. You saw the one in Baurada. You see, when you are in a ruling party that is impurity, you may not bother an involvement. You can feed anybody you want to feed. It doesn't necessarily work that way. I have told you there are governors who couldn't put their successors. But they were governors. There are governors who couldn't make second tenure. But they are governors. For Christ's sake, for speaking out loud.
Likely not have a successor because of this.
Yes.
Is this decision to work for the APC born out of a need to keep your job? Because the president has been I want to take exception to that. No. I want to if you want to ask me a question, don't use about keeping my job. I've been a minister before. And that's the problem we have in this country. You think you must be a circle friend before you get a job.
job. No, I was not a minister when I said I was going to support President Tinubu. I never sat down with him to say, if you win, you will give me so thing. No way.
Minister, the president was also captured on video saying that if your performance as minister benefits your party, the PDP, more than the ruling party, APC, that he will sack you.
So that's the problem you have. When you see people are cracking jokes, and that's the kind of thing you sell out to the public. I'm so disappointed that you could say such a thing. You mean where you are cracking jokes, you not take it as a news. No, hold on. NDBN is unfortunate. I don't want to say why you are saying that. And I think we are past this level. The word keeping your job should not arise at all. Should not arise at all. I was a minister. I was a governor. Now I'm a minister. Am I going to die in the position? What's keeping job? The point is that you have black people who have told you, I will do this. You want me to play daytime this way, night, because some of their friends do it. I will not do that. I won't do it. So the issue of keeping your job, I take exception to that seriously.
Honorable Minister,
Seriously,
you made an assertion much earlier, which I had wanted to take you up immediately, but let me do that now. While we're justifying the curfew that was imposed, you made allusion to security report. Was it to the effect of people planning to disrupt the election or people planning violence? Because either way, that will appear strange.
that's not fair consumption. Now, let me just ask you one word. Now, they said from 8 p.m. Ask me, what do you want to do from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m.? No. The point we are saying, what the president has given you work free day. Go back to your constituencies so that you can participate in the election. Now let me tell you what happened. And that's why you should know how intelligence is very, very interesting. On that side today, to tell you, around 11:30 a.m. from Naraba, you can't believe it. I said 11 a.m. in the morning on Saturday 21st when I was going around. And that's where it was. Commend the security. If you see the influx of people coming to Abuja, the security said, no way, you can't. And then you're thinking that we still tell their movement from 6 a.m. And then elections at that time, where you allow people coming from states going to
hours preceding that party.
it's not hours now.
So there was
No, hold on. No.
would have been moving
Hold
into
on.
Abuja.
This was done on Thursday. This was done on Thursday. So now saw television everywhere.
Yes.
It was not done. You cannot say hours. It's not correct. It's more than 24 hours. No, let us see. If we are selling out information, if the government has said restriction of movement for 8 p.m. on Friday night to 6 p.m. on Saturday. What it means that, look, you can't come in because election will take place. Remember, Abuja is at the center. Lokoja, Nasarawa, Kaduna, Niger. And if there are no such restriction or curfew, do you know the kind of high such security? Somebody saying that I had a test, oh, it never happened before. Why has it not happened before? Elections are taking place in Niger, that restriction. Elections are taking place in Kaduna, that restriction. Elections are taking place in Nasarawa, that is the restriction. Elections are taking place in Kogi, that is restriction. So in that case, all the 4 states that are having boundaries with Abuja have been locked up. So it will be difficult. So even if you don't restrict in Abuja, you will not find it very difficult. But in this case, these are all-state elections. And therefore, people can tune in from Kaduna, people can tune in from Kogi, people can tune in from Nasarawa, people can tune in from Niger. I do not happy. I am not happy from section 1 to the last.
Of course, the key ones they've spoken about the electronic voting, direct or indirect voting, taking away the powers from the party.
That's indirect primary. It's not going to be favored. The poor cannot. You kept silent. Now they are killing National Assembly. So okay, there will be a lot of crimes here. will happen. Nigerians are professional complainants. Professional complainant. There's nothing you bring down, nothing you put on top that there will no complaint. That is on that one. You talk about electronic, you know, like I've always said. Remember, under Buhari, the issue of electoral transmission came. People are wrote to me and Mechi. They were in government. They said, no, don't sign. If you sign, you will lose the election. Nobody now talks, and this is the same person now who's coming out of the public to say, look, that's your electronic transmission. But while he was there, he refused. Simply because he felt his boss will be affected. Now, we're here. They did not say there should not be electronic transmission. All they said, in case I was likely to be, let us not disenfranchise people by not allowing their vote to be counted. Let us ask ourselves a simple question here. No matter how we claim, you and I complain a lot about the internet. We complain a lot. You can imagine, forget about Nigerians, you see, let me tell you, there are those who are lobbying to the army chairman. They didn't get it. They have come to national television. They talk, I just pity myself. I said, what kind of country is this? What kind of country is this? I am not saying this during. Now, even at that time, nobody, no position came out to say, no, there must be electronic transmission. Now that something that we do have so crazy. Let us take everybody together. Everybody's interest. Let there be electronic transmission. But why he fails, he cannot discontinence the vote of these people. And yet we are shouting. And when people say Nigerians, now who are Nigerians? Am I not a Nigerian? Are you not a Nigerian? Listen, yeah, Eastern people who come out and say Nigeria. That's what I say. Who conducted this referendum? To say this is what Nigerians want. You see, you have vocal minority.
But they say have a right to the opinion.
I didn't say that. No, my anger with you is that you say Nigerians.
Yeah, Nigerians too.
No,
Still Nigerians.
no. And you say some Nigerians, but don't say Nigerians.
But you said you're still Nigerians compared. You didn't say some Nigerians.
No.
You said that Nigerians are professional.
No, yes. Let me say why I said so. reality. Why is it the reality? When this thing came under Buhari's government, that's the point I'm trying to make. Did you come back to say, why should you not be there? That's the point I'm trying to make. Now, someone has tried to make a correction. Then you are the one complaining. That's the point I'm making. I think you should praise those who have tried to add something to improve on it.
Okay. Yes, we'll have some other issues before maybe they can go back to policies, but FCT issues. And by the way, I don't complain anymore. I have good internet now, so no more complaints. But about waste management in the FCT.
Before we talk about all those ones,
You still want to talk about politics?
that is the 18 now. That's the 18 now. You know, let him go through. He is the one, so you don't jump.
Okay. Tell us about
That's the part of the leadership problem we have in the country. And look at it here now.
Thank you for Minister. Honorable Minister. Tell us about the peace process in River State. Have you been able to finalize as in to ensure that we have lasting peace in that state? Because a lot of people are saying, because of the interest involved, that there's no how, that there will always be conflict between you and Governor Simlai Fubara.
Why should I be alone the conflict? Did you find out anything that shows that we will not have a lasting peace?
In the last 3 years,
No. Now, what you are saying is that something just happened.
Okay.
And then you are around saying, have you found out anything that suggests to the fact that but we don't think this peace will last? Is there anything you found out? Fine. What's the point of this?
Well, as a first time governor,
Yes.
every governor wants to go for that program. On your part, you have said that you will not allow him to accept contact because he so is to bury you politically.
I didn't say so.
So conflict.
I didn't say so. You see,
Conflict.
please don't say what I
That is good.
All I said is that look, all of us have political interests, right? And as far as we are concerned, if we allow this, our own political interests will perish, not bury me. Please let us put in the proper perspective. And let me tell you this, the popularness of these problems are you people. Let me tell you how you are. If I were you, because there are only that suggest even you need them to pray that there should be peace. You believe that there should continue to be crisis, but it won't work. What you are looking for will not work that way. That peace has come to the world. As far as I'm concerned, as far as we are concerned, you know, what is leadership? Leadership Leadership is being able to swallow certain things. Leadership is being able to say, okay, give and take. You can't always be right. You can't. And from what I've seen, I don't think there's any cause for alarm. Except you are telling me that something I do not know. And that's why I asked you. Maybe because I believe I may be wrong. That in your investigation, you may have found out what I do not know. If you're able to tell me here, then I will.
Because persistently you have been on a particular trajectory, and this new reconciliatory you is who we should be asking who is responsible.
But I told you what did I say my leadership? I said leadership is give and take. Leadership is taking decision. It's not every day you must be right.
So you have reached that point
so
where you have
and it does not form what is a leadership. Only one man cannot be leader. The leadership have various levels. The government say leader is all right. Right? I'm a leader in my own right. And so what is important is, look, what do I do for the interest of the state? And for me, we have done everything we should do for the interest of the state. And let me tell you something. Apart from Mr. President, let me tell you, I don't think there's anybody who would have listened. Apart from Mr. President, you see, I don't like people who are not sincere. There are so many people who tell people they want the content talent. It's not correct. It's not correct. I don't go there. They said in the summit.
They said you sent representatives to attend.
I sent representatives.
That's what they told us.
Who told you that? One day never told you that.
And then God knows
the recruit have said so. He also knows. You see, the point is, if you are looking for peace, open your door. As you finish, the peace will follow you. You don't destroy a house and come and be the peacemaker. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. And that's why it's difficult for people like us. When I see that you're the architect of the problem. No, I'm not talking about you. What I mean by, are you experienced
a lot of, um, you know, negotiations, peace talks, even constituted by Mr. President himself between you and Governor Sim. And you rightly pointed out here that there is relative peace in Rivers State politically as it stands. We all know about the Rainbow Coalition that you have stated will bring about peace, progress, and stability to Rivers State. Does that include ensuring that Governor Sim doesn't come back for second term in 2027?
The only way that can be peace is only when he goes back.
Well, that's why we want you to clarify.
I don't know. It is you that defines what is peace.
Any governor who wants to aspire
So,
22nd term.
so have we reached to that point?
What brought
When I hear you,
relative peace?
let him aspire now if he wants to aspire.
What brought about this relative
Will you
peace
support
that you are enjoying?
What's the details of who I want to support?
We should know.
Why should you know about who I'm going to, what I'm going to do? It's my right.
Minister, what brought about this relative peace? You haven't answered that
I
question.
didn't tell you the word relative peace.
All right. Peace in Rivers State.
Mr. President intervention had, but you are the one putting the word relative peace. It didn't come from my mouth.
All right.
The word relative is from your mouth. And I don't know why you enjoy problem to be in Rivers State. Who said you come from?
Honorable Minister, I'd rather not say on air.
Honorable Minister, thank you so much for becoming a peacemaker in Rivers State. Nigerians are happy.
For not being a peacemaker.
Nigerians are happy that that place is quiet for the moment. Oil is flowing, people are moving around peacefully and all of that. But, Honorable Minister, do you know Bomaye, the Executive Director of Finance and Administration at NDDC? And would you by chance say that he's fit to become the governor of Rivers State in 2027? Because there are claims that you are supporting him to emerge as the governorship candidate.
From your son, would you ask me that question?
Well, I mean, these are the things we're hearing as journalists.
Somebody who is executive director of finance administration, if he's fit to be a governor.
Because they say you are supporting him to take over from Governor Wubara.
You continue to tell you. Let them continue to tell you. That's what you want to. I'm not going to discuss that issue. When the time for governorship comes, people will sit there and discuss about it. I'm using here talking about development here. Yes.
I'd like to ask, I don't know if other Nigerians are also interested. Personally, I'm interested in knowing if you have moved your polling unit from Rivers to Abuja. Because the way we
spoke about the senator for FCT and how you said what she's on, and then I'm wondering if Honorable Minister now votes here. It's your right. I know where you're heading to. Because if you are still voting in Rivers, you feel Rivers. There will be movement, there will be restrictions.
By the time Mr. Pele finishes his third year anniversary, go and ask all those parties where they will run the election in 2027. By the time President finishes his third year anniversary, as far as Abuja is concerned, go and ask where they still want to run. You see, I have told you, apart from my secret of people, see, I can still or not. As I sit there, I can close my eyes and name them. What will happen this May do when the president will do the 30-year anniversary? So, it's not long, is it before? It was different. Do you know that there was no election that any ruling party had won in the villa? You know that? What happened now? What happened? What happened? They really did that too. You know, see, let me tell you, there are things you cannot deny. There are things you cannot deny this administration. You can't. No matter whether you like them, you don't like them, you hate the president, you don't hate him. As far as Abuja is concerned, you cannot hate Mr. President. I know you're an individual of Abuja. You are. Can you, in your own way, tell Nigerians the truth? The truth, forgetting that you want far-right.
Well, I mean,
No, you cannot.
Mr. Minister, I think you have not been watching Horizon because you know when there are issues that have to do with this, I said
There are things we do
there are
respect.
things we actually
There are
give
things
kudos.
we do respect to you.
Yes, sir.
I don't want the way my time in everything.
Yes,
I don't. And I must tell you that. And I don't pray. I am not looking for friendship. And I don't do that.
yeah, but we do our job and we say it.
I don't know what is going on.
Well,
Let me tell you.
don't well as a minister.
You cannot, because if you have not done well, the ghost of the life will kill you. Because it is very obvious. Because you are from Abuja here. Whether you like me or not, no matter how you hate me, you cannot be blind not to see what is going on. You cannot. So it doesn't matter whether you like me or you don't like me or you abuse me or you don't abuse me or even when you are here, you will see it everywhere. It's so that's why I think, look, as a human being, one thing that gives me joy, happiness, I go to a place, not where you there yourself, all you know is to criticize. When I go They had never seen a minister. I challenge any. Look, it's not like you are passing on the road to see minister. Tomorrow, I'm going to start thank you visit.
Where?
Yes, in FCD, yes.
Will you be visiting the traditional rulers because they say you've never held a meeting with them?
Why would I tell you the such things?
The FCC Traditional Council.
You know, come, look, let me tell you. Maybe you don't know me very well. Visit, so I should visit every traditional.
The major one you did it in.
So who's not the major one? I want meetings.
The same thing in Rivers.
No, I want meetings. Listen, I want meetings with traditional rulers. I don't visit traditional rulers.
What's the difference?
You don't know the difference.
Well, from your explanation,
I said, listen, this one hold on now. All right. If I call you journalist to a meeting, I go and visit my guy privately. It's a different thing now. You should know that. You should know that. And I don't want them to be involved in politics.
But you visited Sajata Wuse in Rivers.
No, he's a politician.
Oh, as a traditional ruler.
He has told you from the one. If you want to come and take with you, he was a politician before. So he does not have his own feeling. But the point I'm making is for that to that if I get any complaint of refuse along this area, you are bound to lose your job. You don't even know who owns it. Now, the point I'm trying to make is, yes, we cannot say we have done 100%. No. No, even when I was governor, nobody has got it 100% right. But that's not an excuse. We continue to do our best. The only thing I want you to do is the little we have done to improve the cleanliness of the city. I appreciate that. Not that you go one spot, for example, out of 2,000 spots, you see one refuse. Then the person who lives there, it may be working staff of channel, it may be staff of IT, it may be staff of guardian. The refuse everywhere in Abuja. You will not say that refuse put everywhere in Abuja, which is not correct. So the point I'm making is that we are doing our best. And now that you told me, as I leave this program, I have to go. Who is the contractor in charge of that area? Mind you, what's the political way to terminate a lot of contracts?
Yes, sir.
So this is what you don't have.
Minister, the last time we spoke, I had asked you a question about the Jabi Lake and what your plans were for.
But Jabi Lake was doing that.
Exactly, but do you care to still enlighten the residents of Abuja on what they should expect? Because it's quite brilliant that you have taken action towards ensuring that it is facelifted and turned into
Surprise people.
Interesting.
Why don't you like to surprise people? You know, no, what I'm trying to say, why don't you like to surprise people? Well, why do you, if I say it was a surprise again? But let me tell you, no, but let me tell you the truth. As part of the problem, people took that land around Jabi 15, 20 years to develop the place. Nothing happened. Nothing. One of these days I was passing through what is this? Look at this is a prime area. Across the end of the land administration. What's happening here? So you get and say you will revoke it. Who is suing Nigeria? It's easy for you. You don't know what to pass through. Who is suing Nigeria? Calling you, of course. I just said, look, what do you want me to do? You have called me when I'm not taking the decision. I'm taking the decision. And then I can do about it. Sorry. But again, you have to, whether I like it or not, there are people you must respect. That's okay. The only condition now is I will give you. Because there was no agreement signed with the FCT. Nothing. That's okay. There are people from Lagos who also apply. As to what I'm going to do, I'm going to divide into two. You sign an agreement for me in the next 6 months, you've done 70% of the development. You, in next, you've done it. If you don't do this 6 months time, you take our land back. Right?
No, Mr.
No, let me finish now. So, and they were surprised. After about 3 weeks, I passed across the region. I got another land, called them. That 3 weeks has passed through. 3 weeks have passed. Go together. They are working. It was something that you'll be very happy at the end of when it is done. But the hotel there, once to whatever. I said, look, this is what people like. Who travel? Who look how beautiful. Is it a magic that we cannot also do the same And you will not defend me. In fact, you will say you think so.
We always calling you Larry, like he's always appearing as studios.
What do you mean by that? Is it not as spokesman? Is it with you here? What do you mean? Is it not able to defend me?
Because we are around this Jabi Lake
Yes.
project, I think the agreement was signed this February,
Yes.
based on what you spoke about. And I personally, because when you talk before now, when you talk about Abuja, it's about politics and probably real estate. But I see that through your agencies, you are beginning to rethink the federal capital, because beyond the tourism hub which you are trying to develop there, across that road is where you have Nile Hotel, Nigeria tourists. They are just across there. You have a couple of hotels there. So when that comes to full operation, that whole road will be a very busy. Even every Saturday when you go there in the morning, from morning till night. And then there's also the film village, the Abuja film village, that has also been, I think, which agency of
That's where you have
the film village.
When the facilities the government tells you they are not, when they were just leasing the land for sale. When I came, I said, no. We got me from what they call the city walk.
Yeah.
Come and see petitions. Come and see petitions. Oh, he has taken the land, this and this and that. Because you see, at a particular road people wanted. That's what they're doing here. I'm not the one to benefit from this at the end of the day. I don't think I'll be here before that is finished. What? Whoever is coming will be difficult for him to change that. People will say, hey, Sonny must be wrong there with you. You see, taking that decision, you don't know what will pass to. But, like I said, that's what leadership is all about.
All right.
Everything must not be easy. Yes.
All right, Honorable Mr. Very commendable. In fact, I don't know what you're trying to do at the Abuja City Gate, but I'm very happy that something is going to come out beautiful out of there, because that's the gateway into the city. And it tells me that people are beginning to return investor confidence into the city. saying that you're also not leaving yourself out at the life camp roundabout here. It's like the biggest roundabout in Nigeria.
We until Abuja, what do you call it now?
The city gate.
Yeah.
Abuja City Gate. That's what I was making reference to.
Have you seen what's going on now?
No, we know there's construction, but we don't really know. Yeah.
By me. Go and see what will be there.
And we are ready.
But that is not the city. It doesn't make sense.
Yes, because a lot of complaints have always come out of that. It's an eyesore when you're entering into the capital of Nigeria. So my question is,
I saw because I'm the one here.
no, before now, I'm talking of before now, Honorable Minister. That's why I said it's highly commendable, because people say Abuja is so less, no arts around and all of that. Now, my question is, Abuja turned 50 in February last year, and we had expected the federal government of Nigeria, led by President Tinubu, who is the governor of the city, and your humble self as his representative in Abuja here, to actually enlighten Nigerians on where the city was and where it is today, and maybe where it will be in the future. But we didn't really see that coming. Can you talk to us what the Tinubu administration plan is for Abuja in the next 50 years?
You like ceremony. You like ceremony. And 50 years. Let's do ceremony. What Abuja was. So what do they have the people? But that's not the point. We decided not to. I want to package together with President 3 years the man found out today my birthday, I will celebrate my birthday today. This is a surprise. You've now made me let the cat out of the so you don't need to, what I'm trying to say, we don't want to take the shine. It is Mr. President that has to take the shine. It is administration. And what do you call it?
But that's, I don't know, that's the name. I cannot change the name. That place belongs to Arab contractor.
I didn't pay anybody to have that.
Well, maybe the honorable minister will have to take them to come and pay for the name.
But no, let me tell you, but I take the decision now. Mazango. Now, we don't want to promote
Tension.
our communities. We don't want to.
Okay.
Now, but if you go and say something down, some people thinking they're going the religious way. Now, some because it's Arab. You know, it's, but again, that's where we are.
Okay.
That's society we're in. We don't want our communities to come out.
All right.
That is the publicity. What am I going to publish going to pay money to us, then we can do that.
All right, Honorable Minister. Rehabilitation of that road is ongoing, and I can attest to that. But there's one place where the people there are begging for attention. This one is very crucial. Perhaps maybe for a long time no. Perhaps for a very long time they'll be under the Abuja municipal area. That's Lugbe. Yes.
Okay.
Now that the FCT has taken over the operations of that
The technology village.
of that sprawling area, what is your master plan to develop Lugbe to a standard
Work according to the resources we have. I don't want to make promises I cannot fulfill. And no one government, no matter how long you stay, can solve all the problems. You can't. My major problem today is that I can develop that my tamatu, right? Which has been there for years, where the land has been allocated. No, it's not that one. It's not that one. So, people have paid for many years. And virtually more than 3,000 persons. And it's a place that by the time we develop it, you see, population begin to move down, and so that you can decongest here. And let me tell you, that project is costing out by the approval of Reserve Council 600 billion. 600 billion. Now, tell me the truth. Even if they say they have the whole money, can I carry the whole money and put on that project? Certainly not. Certainly not. But it's a major project, very important project that must be. So when we say develop this place, it's good. But is it realizable now? It cannot, based on our finances. And I tell people that
It's a hospital. Sorry, not a hospital. A community you visited in 2024, and now they are saying we should remind you. When you came there, you got the community excited. It's Sam Bakwe Road in Apo.
some are going to disturb the community.
Yeah, well, they said that the community.
No, you said that the community they told you to remind me.
Yes,
As I was
name is they
So,
say that.
so how will I know what I told them?
Let me describe it. You know you visited the place in 2024.
I've visited so many places.
This one is in Samu Bakwe Road in Apo,
I don't
near
know where
Cedar
the
Crest
Samu
Hospital.
We are sitting.
Near Cedar Crest Hospital. They
Sitting.
said you visited.
No, the road is I'm going to Zimbabwe.
I think that nothing is being done. I mean, that's what they are asking.
What do I make it? You must have to mobilize them first. But that's why I had a problem with the police where they were doing all that attention. I have to go along that and the building. And they said they will shoot, they will do this. These are the kind of things we are talking about. I remember it's an important road. For me, there's no road that's so important in Africa. Look, the only thing that makes me happy when I see a lot of text, please remember us, which means they realize that something's going on somewhere. So it makes me happy. It makes me happy. And it should make you more happy.
Alright, there's also a request from another community of an abattoir which is being used by lots of drug peddlers and all of that. Recently, a young person was killed in that place because of drug and all of that. And they want that abattoir to be relocated. What can you do about that? And then
Thank you so much for joining us on ASO Briefing today. I am Joy Annie. Let's begin with the headlines. FCT Minister Barrister NYESOM WIKE confirms President Bola Tinubu approved movement restriction during area council elections. Presidency debunks poison claim. A Nigerian police force reassures Nigerians of sustained security vigilance. And Nigeria to experience dust haze, isolated thunderstorms, says NIMET. You're watching ASO Briefing. We're live on DSTV channel 392, also on StarTimes TV channel 127 and Free TV channel 507. We're also on the UHF band on channel 38. We're on City Area Council elections, whereas a fulfillment of a promise he made to President Bola Tinubu. He also stated that backing the candidate was part of his political commitment and aligned with his responsibilities. Mr. WIKE also maintained that it is within his, as FCT Minister, to visit polling units during elections to monitor the situation and ensure adequate security. He dismissed criticism surrounding his presence at polling centers, insisting that his actions were lawful and aimed at guaranteeing a peaceful electoral process. Now, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory on Barrister NYESOM WIKE on Monday morning received the remains of Senator Barinada Piggy at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. He arrived at the airport at about 5:30 a.m. along other dignitaries. He also received the senator's widow, Patricia Obiageri Piggy, and their children. Amongst those present were Chairman of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP Board of Trustees, Senator Mao Ohuabunwa, Senators Philip Aduda, Magnus Abe, Orwell Onyeso, and Olaka Nwogu. House of Representatives Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda, River State Coordinator of the Renewed Hope Ambassadors, Ambassador Desmond Akawo, and APC National Vice Chairman, South Victor Gaidam, among others. Senator Piggy, who represented River South East Senatorial District, died in London on Thursday, February 19, 2026, at the age of 64. The FCT Minister had earlier visited the bereaved family in London last Thursday to commiserate with them and facilitate the return of the Senator's remains to Nigeria. Now, away from that, the presidency has declared as fake a viral report alleging that a kitchen staff member at the State House had been arrested over a purported attempt to poison President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Nanuga, in a post on his verified X handle, dismissed the claim as false. The rebuttals followed the circulation of a video and accompanying report on some online platform alleging that an unnamed chef attached to the presidential villa in Abuja had been apprehended in connection with an alleged plot to poison the president. The report, which failed to cite any credible source or provide verifiable details, quickly gained traction across social media, triggering speculation and concern in some quarters. However, the presidency's swift and categorical denial put to rest the rumor, describing it as baseless and urging the public to disregard the misleading content, that there was no indication from any security agency on an arrest, investigation, or security breach related to the allegation as of press time. The House of Representatives has taken steps to establish a regulatory commission to regulate fintech in the country. A bill to establish the commission is being sponsored by Mr. Fuad Laguda, already passed by the House and now referred to House committees on digital and electronic banking, banking regulation, science and technology, communications, and as well as the Committee on Capital Markets and Institutions. It is titled A Bill for an Act to Provide for the Establishment of Nigeria's Fintech Regulatory Commission in Nigeria and for Related Matters 2025. The bill, among other functions, seeks to establish a legal framework for the Nigerian fintech industry and will oversee the licensing, regulation and supervision of fintech services in Nigeria. A public hearing on the bill is scheduled to hold Monday, March 2nd, 2026. Now, the First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has reminded members of the National Assembly that beyond their constitutional mandate to legislate for the over 200 million Nigerians, they remain ultimately accountable to God for every decision taken and law enacted. The First Lady gave the reminder in her remark at the dedication and commissioning of the National Assembly Chapel built by the National Assembly Christian Legislators Fellowship in Abuja. Senator Olufemi described the occasion as deeply personal and historic, recalling her 12-year tenure as a senator when Christians legislators held weekly fellowship in committee rooms due to non-availability of a dedicated place of worship within the complex. The chapel, now commissioned and dedicated according to the First Lady, stands as a solemn reminder that while lawmakers represent the people and exercise constitutional authority, they are accountable to a higher divine authority. In his remarks, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, described the ceremony as a spiritual milestone for Nigeria's democracy. He argued that governance must be anchored on consensus and guided by divine wisdom, stressing that justice existed before constitutions were framed. On his part, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Benjamin Kalu, acknowledged that the Christian Legislators Fellowship has long functioned as a consensus within the legislature, particularly in moments when debates become heated and partisan interests threaten to overshadow national interest. The former head of state, General Yakub Gowon, retired lawmakers have to prioritize national unity in their legislative responsibilities, remembering sacrifices made to preserve Nigeria's oneness. He expressed hope the chapel will rekindle a renewed commitment to unity, love, and national cohesion among political leaders. Catholic Bishop of Sokoto, Matthew Kuka, gave exhortation at the event, and prayers were offered for Nigeria, the National Assembly, and the Church by various Christian leaders. Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has commenced a comprehensive technical review of its regulations and guidelines for political parties to align them with the recently accented Electoral Act 2026 and emerging electoral realities. The exercise, convened under the leadership of the Commission's chairman, Professor Josiah Ojo Amupitan, SAN, represents a critical phase in the Commission's ongoing reforms agenda aimed at strengthening political parties' oversight, improving a compliance culture, reducing pre-election disputes, and enhancing public confidence in Nigeria's democratic process. The technical workshop on the revision of the INEC regulations and guidelines for political parties will bring together national commissioners and directors across operational departments, legal experts, election administrators, and institutional stakeholders to undertake a detailed clause-by-clause review of the existing 2022 framework. A statement signed by the Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman, Mr. Adebayo Oketola, said the recent enacted Electoral Act 2026 introduces significant legal and operational changes affecting political parties' administration, candidate nomination processes, compliance obligations, dispute resolution mechanisms, and the Commission's regulatory mandate. Consequently, he said, beyond legal compliance, the Commission is drawing lessons from previous elections to strengthen preventive regulations. Persistent challenges such as opaque party primaries, membership dispute, weak financial disclosure practices, and exclusionary participation patterns have contributed to avoidable litigation and electoral uncertainty. Now, addressing these gaps early remains central to the Commission's preparation for 2027 to support evidence-based reforms he said that INEC is mainstreaming findings from the Political Party Performance Index, that's the PPPI, a diagnostic assessment tool that identifies systematic weakness in party governance and compliance practices across the country. Speaking on the reform process, the chairman emphasized that credible elections begin long before polling units and polling days. The commission reaffirmed its commitment to continuous electoral reforms and to ensuring that political parties remain strong democratic institutions capable of producing credible leadership choices for Nigerians. Now moving on, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Olatunji Disu, has reassured all Nigerians of the unwavering commitment of the Nigerian Police Force to the protection of lives, property and national peace in light of evolving geopolitical tensions in the Middle East and their potential global implications. According to a statement issued by the force spokesperson, ACP Benjamin Hussein, while Nigeria's remains stable and its internal security situation firmly under control, the force has reinforced proactive intelligence-led policing measures across the country. ACP Hussein said the acting IGP has directed all commissioners to police in the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, with particular attention to the Northwest, Northeast and North Central zones, to heighten surveillance and intelligence gathering, strengthen collaboration with traditional and religious leaders, enhance visibility, policing of wrong worship centers and public spaces, and swiftly address any attempt by individuals or groups to exploit global development to incite unrest or sectarian tension. The police boss also noted that the Nigeria Police Force reiterates that Nigeria will not serve as a theater for foreign conflicts, adding that any attempt to import external ideological or religious tension into the country will be met with the full weight of the law. IGP Disu called on community leaders nationwide to continue promoting peace and urged citizens to remain calm, vigilant and law-abiding, reporting any suspicious activities to the nearest police information. When ASO briefing return, we bring you business and more stories. To stay with us.
I bless you today as a family little daughter of water.
The heck are you doing here? I'm covering the Uyere festival. You've got to be kidding me.
You will be a great king. The youngest king to be selected by this village.
This is my place, and I can mess with you in ways you cannot imagine.
Many thanks for staying there. Now to the rest of the story. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has been honored with the Minister of the Year 2025-2026 award at the prestigious Silver Bird Man of the Year Awards. The ceremony, held at the Court Hotel and Suites, drew prominent Nigerians, including political leaders and captains of industry. The minister was joined by top aviation officials, including the Managing Director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, Mrs. Olubunmi Kuku, and the Director General of the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, NSIB, Captain Alex Bada Jr. In his acceptance speech, Keyamo described the award as a major encouragement, noting that public service is often underappreciated, as he dedicated the honor to his team and agencies under the ministry, commending their hard work and commitment. The minister also used the occasion to apologize to Nigerians for the temporary gridlock experienced at FAN airport gates nationwide following the full implementation of a cashless toll policy. He explained that the move is part of the federal government reforms aimed at boosting transparency and revenue generation, emphasizing that cash payment have now be discontinued at fan gates, urging airport users to obtain and use fan access cards to avoid delays. While acknowledging initial challenges, Keyamo appealed to Nigerians to support the reforms, describing it as a necessary step towards improving service delivery and strengthening the aviation sector. The Silverbird Award recognizes public office holders who have demonstrated leadership, innovation, and impact in their respective sectors. Now, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency NIMET has issued its weather outlook for Monday, March 2nd, 2026, forecasting widespread dust haze across the northern and central parts of the country, with isolated thunderstorms expected in parts of the south. In the northern state, moderate dust haze is predicted over Katsina, Kano, Gombe, and Yobe states throughout the day, while other areas will experience slight dust haze. For the central region, slight dust haze is expected in the morning and is forecast to persist into the afternoon and evening, with Niger State likely to experience moderate dust haze. In the southern states, cloudy conditions with intervals of sunshine are anticipated in the morning. However, isolated thunderstorms accompanied by light rainfalls are expected later in the day over parts of Lagos, Ogun, Delta, Bayelsa, and Rivers states. NIMET has also advised residents, particularly those with respiratory conditions, to take necessary precaution as dust haze may reduce visibility. The agency also warned that thunderstorms may be accompanied by gusty winds and urged the public to remain vigilant. Airline operators are encouraged to obtain airport-specific weather information from NIMET for effective flight planning. Now, the ECOWAS Community Court of Justice will have a bilateral meeting with Ghanaian authorities to review and enhance enforcement of court's judgment within the Republic of Guinea. The event aligns with the 50th anniversary celebration of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and they will have the court, Guinea's competent national authority, and other critical stakeholders to convene from the 2nd to 4th of March 2026. This aims to foster stronger cooperation between regional court and national institutions to establish a structured framework that will improve compliance, promote uniformity in enforcement procedures, and build a more robust cooperative network between the court and member state. The court, via its media team, in a statement revealed that the delegation, led by its president, Honorable Ricardo Claudio Monteiro Conclaves, will hold walking sessions and courtesy calls for ministers of justice, finance, and ECOWAS affairs, also president of the Supreme Court and the Speaker of Parliament. Away from ECOWAS now, the Chinese government has condemned reports of the death of Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in airstrikes attributed to the United States and Israel. In a statement by the foreign minister's spokesperson on Saturday, China labeled the incident a grave violation of Iran's sovereignty and security, stating that the attack and killing of Iran's supreme leader tramples on the purposes and principles of the UN Charter and fundamental norms of international relations. The remarks came in response to a journalist's question regarding the widespread report of Khamenei's death during the military strikes. Beijing called for an immediate halt to hostilities and immediate cessation of military operations to avoid further escalation of the tense situation and advocate for joint effort to maintain peace and stability in the Middle East and the wider world. Let's take you to some business news now. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, has commended the latest national economic data from the National Bureau of Statistics, confirming that Nigeria's real GDP grew by 4.07% in the fourth quarter of 2025, marking the second time in a decade, excluding the immediate post-pandemic rebound, that quarterly growth has surpassed the 4.4% threshold. This is contained in a press statement signed by the Assistant Director of Information and Public Relations, Federal Ministry of Finance, Amadi Oloman-Neka, acknowledging that this figure follows the 4.23% growth recorded in second quarter of 2025, representing a clear acceleration from the 3.76% 6% posted in third year of 2024. The report noted that the performance underscores strengthening macroeconomic stability and the tangible impact of the federal government's economic reforms, a program under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The minister attributes the growth recorded in the fourth quarter of 2025 was driven by sustained expansion across all three major sectors of the economy, including agriculture, industry, continued expansion in finance, telecommunication, trade, and technology-driven segments. According to the statement, this expansion reflects strengthening fundamentals, improved fiscal coordination, disciplined expenditure management, and reforms aimed at restoring macroeconomic credibility. Still on business, the federal government and Africa Finance Corporation, AFC, have signed an investment partnership to jointly fund 3 projects, including a $1.3 billion alumina refinery. The Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, described the agreement as a landmark deal to transform mining and boost its GDP contribution. A statement by the Minister's Special Assistant on Media, Shegun Tomari, said the pact was signed on Sunday in Abuja. Executive Secretary, Solid Mineral Development Fund, Hajia Fatima Shinkafi, signed for the government, while Franklin Edochie, AFC Deputy Director and Head of Metals and Mining, signed for the corporation. Other projects include a comprehensive geoscience mapping exercise and the creation of an investment vehicle to advance the initiative. The alumni refinery, valued at $1.3 billion, will process 1 million tons of bauxite annually. He said the project would be Nigeria's largest private mining investment and a landmark foreign direct investment, contributing $1.2 billion to GDP yearly. Delelake added that it would generate over $25 billion for the economy across its life cycle and $8 billion in foreign exchange earnings. He commended AFC and SMDF for aligning with the ministry's 7-point agenda through the partnership. He also said reforms had secured the investment climate, modernized regulations, and established a world-class mineral licensing regime, attracting serious private capital. The initiative supports the ministry's goal of generating reliable mineral data, de-risking exploration, and unlocking Nigeria's mineral potential. AFC and SMDF also agreed to establish a joint strategic investment vehicle to accelerate development of identified exploration assets nationwide. The vehicle will drive rapid exploration, development, and production on selected leases following a successful exploration campaign. But that's it on ASO Briefing today. I thank you very much for your time. I am Joy Annie. Do have a good afternoon.